Good day, everyone. I'm Kyla Bruta, and welcome to my presentation in EDS 170 for Assignment 1 with my chosen topic, Public Policy Aims, Frameworks, and Processes. To provide an overview, I'll be presenting the mentioned topic in three segments. First is definition of public policy and its aims. Second is policy framework, particularly policy cycle framework. And lastly, policy processes. Let's start with public policy. Based on one of the learning resources from the course, Sir Thomas Dye in 2013 defines public policy as whatever the government chooses to do or not to do. So in this very context, public policies not only refer to the actions made by government, but also the decisions they deliberately opt to avoid, or also known as policy inactions due to many underlying reasons or considerations which are aligned with some of the public policy aims, such as addressing societal challenges or the issues that citizens or institutions experience, regulating a behavior to maintain social order and promote equality in various societal dimensions, such as economy, education, and health, which then can be achieved by distributing benefits and allocating resources to public services that prioritize the welfare and safety of the public. And lastly, streamlining development and change. So in this regard, public policies are made not merely as a band-aid solution to a temporary problem, but with long-term goals in mind, especially national and even global development goals like SDGs. Moving on, the systems of thinking, as defined by Birkeland in 2020, is a way of thinking that views a phenomenon as a whole complex system consisting of elements that influence one another. So in this regard, systems of thinking is crucial, particularly in education reform frameworks, as it emphasizes feedback loops to improve educational policies and programs that will ultimately benefit the learners, educators, and policymakers. It is especially evident in policy cycle framework, a cyclical stage model of policy development. So in this framework, having established the emergence of issues, we start with agenda setting, a stage that analyzes the identified issues in a particular setting and weighs which issue is considered urgent or in need of immediate action more than the others. Once the issue is identified, we then proceed to policy formation, or the stage that involves designing and drafting of proposals. So these proposals are then evaluated in the third process, the decision making, which involves a policy selection and enactment. In this phase, these proposed solutions are compared, evaluating their pros and cons and selecting the final policy that greatly aligns with the identified challenges. Once formal decisions are accomplished, the chosen policy will then be implemented by responsible government agencies. These policies can manifest in the form of programs, projects, and other initiatives that answer to the identified challenges. And during and after the implementation stage, evaluation then comes in. This phase is vital to assess how effective the implemented policies are, and it provides an opportunity for policymakers to adjust them to better accommodate the people or institutions involved in those policies. In a nutshell, public policy refers to the decisions the government makes, as well as the directions that it does not take to address relevant challenges and issues that arise in our society. It is essential for us to understand the frameworks and processes involved in policy development, for us to be aware not just of the direct and indirect impacts of the tangible programs the government implements, but to also understand how and why the government functions the way it does, especially with regards to lesson policies. Public policy affects all of us as a society. Therefore, it is our responsibility to monitor the process of an output that will shape our future. That's all. Thank you for watching.